So the question is, do you think it will get better after the election? If not, how are you preparing? So I guess what we're talking about is if your guy gets in or if your guy doesn't get in. Do you really think it's going to get better? Are they not kind of different wings of the same bird? Everybody's hoping Trump gets in. My life was better when Trump was in. The economy will be better. Business will be a little easier. Financing will be easier. Money will be easier if Trump gets back in. But if Trump gets back in, are they not going to burn shit down? When were they burning shit down? It's when Trump was in. When were cities on fire? When Trump was in, right? When did they release the pandemic? That was when Trump was in office, right? So do we think Trump's getting back in? It very much looks like Trump's getting back in. You better prepare right now. All you dudes running around with your heads cut off when COVID-19 started that weren't ready for that, all the people that moved out of the city and moved to the middle of nowhere and then had that shock when they were going to build their McMansions and the contractor said, yep, we can do it. 5 years, right? And oh my God, they had to move into some tiny homes. Wouldn't you be better off if that's just how you lived, right? If you lived out of the city, if you had some even if it's tiny homes, right? You can always expand those as your family grows, as your need grows. But to have the property, it all starts with property. You have to have something and you have to have skill also. Once you're out there, everybody's preparing for all this stuff in case the power shuts off or balkanization of the United States and we, fracture and now all of a sudden goods aren't coming in from other states. Don't you think you should practice that? Like maybe grow a garden, right? Because a lot of people's plan is they're just going to take some dirt and put it in a bucket and grow some stuff. And then they're surprised when it doesn't grow. Shouldn't you learn how to make compost, how to build fertility into the soil, right? Cover cropping, never have raw grass, never have raw land because nature abhors a void. She's going to put something there that you might not want there. Whereas if you cover it, when you don't cover the soil and you have weather, it removes your soil. It pulls the nutrients and it washes that topsoil away. You'll take some time to build topsoil. And as soon as you have a big rain, if it's raw soil, it washes away. That's one of the biggest exports in the United States is topsoil. If you just had roots in it, it wouldn't be washing away. It slows the movement of water. You don't have floods and stuff when you have proper grass planted because it slows it and it allows the grass to absorb it. Whereas if it's not there, it just washes it away. Shouldn't you have some of these skills? Somebody had asked me on one of the videos, do we do tree hay and fodder systems? And we do. But the real truth is that currently I run several businesses and I'm a hobby farmer. I maintain all of this stuff so that it's here if I need to scale it and I have it kind of like insurance. It's like people that buy $20,000 worth of Harvest Right freeze-dried food that sits in a can in a storage unit someplace. They're never going to eat that shit. It's there for in case. We do scale. We do produce food. We do use some of the stuff that we grow here. But really, I keep 60 rabbits here because I use it for dog food, but I can scale that and I can turn that into 1,000 rabbits within 6 months if we need to do that. And you always hear, every time I say rabbits, there's always somebody in the comments like, you'll die from rabbit starvation. That's not a real fucking thing. Not in this world. Not right now. In war times, yeah, that would be an issue. If you're on an island and there's nothing there. You know what the solution to that is? Because it's hard to grow fats, right? We use hogs for fat and stuff like that. Cows for fat. During World War II, they said, okay, nobody in Europe is going to grow cereal crops to feed to cows so that you have meat. Instead, you are going to eat the cereal crops. So they would do something called a pig share. And then each village or each set of neighbors would have a pig and they would feed that to the scraps. And by law, they had to have a law enforcement officer present when they killed that hog. And then they took almost all the fat. You weren't allowed to keep most of it. They took it because they were making demolition with it. They were making explosives and rendering the fat for part of the explosives. So you were still short on fats. So what do? What's your solution? I would grow peanuts. I would start with peanuts. You can grow peanuts in all kinds of places, and you press the peanuts and there's your fat. Like that's what I would start with. Try not to